Hello and welcome to episode 74 of the Critical Twits Gaming Podcast, where today we'll be talking to Run Last Click, Teamwork Cast and some Americans about the Netrunner European Championship. Hello and welcome to episode 74. My name's Joe Lewin and this week I'm on my own, kinda. So, we've just had the European Championships by Fantasy Flight Games and I participated in it playing Netrunner. Didn't make it to day 2 due to a mistake that will be covered at some point. But I did manage to interview and harass a bunch of important people in the community to talk to me about their experiences in the tournament. Overall, the event was absolutely amazing, and while I didn't do as well as I'd liked, I did have a lot of fun. This is going to be the first episode to do focused on the community, interviewing people that you'll have probably heard of if you follow the competitive scene or other podcasts, and generally just showing you guys that might be thinking about getting into playing this with people you don't know or anything else, how good it can be and how friendly everyone is. So first off, I managed to talk to the lovely guys at Run Last Click who did a live podcast on the Friday night, which we will put a link to now. So yeah, I got a chance to catch up with Edie and Chris and have a quick chat to them. So here's the interview. Cool. So I'm here with Edie and Chris from Run Last Click, a very, very good Netrunner podcast you should listen to if you haven't already. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Euros experience. I'm going to apologise in advance for the constant noise because we are sat in the tournament hall doing it. So if anything is a bit unclear, we'll try and subtitle it for you later. Cool. So, what were you guys running not today, but during the tournament?
So I started off on Estelle Spam HBETF. So installing lots and lots of cards. I didn't go for the standard deck that everyone else had with the Lakshmis. I was using Jeeves and then playing either a shipment from Sansan, a shipment from Miramorph rather, or a Lateral Growth, and then a shipment from Sansan to gain an extra click. So I was scoring agendas without spending any money, or typically making money and then using team sponsorship to recur stuff. That held up pretty well for me, apart from one mandatory loss because I forgot how to write a deck list out like a grown-up. And I was also running a Temi J Wizard, a very boring, very boring deck, but it has good game against asset spam and it's not bad against everything else. And yeah, held up pretty well for me on the day. Didn't make day 2, just missed out by one match, but such is life.
So a pro tip will be to write deck lists properly.
I'd actually go further than that. I'd say just print them out from Netrunner DB. In my case, I was missing out on 1.0 from the end of an Eli, and it's things like that where if you just write the word Levy on your deck list now, there's now 2 Levy cards, and you have to be super careful. And because it's a Premier level event, they're not as kind about these things because it would be a bit unfair on other people.
A lot stricter.
Yeah,
a lot stricter.
Yeah, I mean, me and Brian talked about this on the way over because for so long now Eli has just been Eli, but then very recently we've got Eli 2, so it's become a thing. Although, again, very quickly that goes away soon. Eli 1, so it's back to just writing Eli. So you're just in that small window of not making mistakes. Cool. Chris, what were you running?
Oh, my name's Chris from Run Last Click. Go down loud, Run Last Click. Be on brand at all times. I was on PU, Potential Unleashed, hitherto known as Potatoes for some reason, for meme reasons. It's very strange. But yeah, that every time I do a net damage, then that will mill a card. So it's kind of like my main. I have no scoring plan. I can let everyone know this now that the tournament's over. For me at least. So yeah, I'm trying to mill you out, arc lock down your levies, get them out of the way, and then my deck is so spiky that anything you touch will kind of just crumble you when you have no more deck left. And then Haley Faust, which has been doing the rounds. Which is basically one Faust, one Rumour Mill, and just kind of recurring them or keeping them in play a lot, and just kind of locking down a remote, locking down R&D. You know, it's got a legwork, it's got a deep data mine, which did work on the day. But yes, didn't make day 2, but not through spelling mistakes. or lack of. It was just bad play. Bad. I think more people are expecting Potential Unleashed now, and the more people understand how to play against it, and the more they realise, oh, you have no way of scoring, then the more bad it does. I don't know.
Fair enough, because one of you got to day 2, who's not here,
Yes.
sadly. Cool. If anyone wants any more information on the origins of Temi J Wizard, or some slightly more insight into some of the decks and stuff, you guys did do a live podcast, and that I assume will be up for people to, well, definitely by the time this is out, that will be on the internet for people to digest.
Hopefully, yeah.
If you look in the corner now, if you're on YouTube, we'll have had a link. If you're at the bottom in SoundCloud, if you're on SoundCloud, there will be a link at the bottom, so go listen to that as well. It was fantastically funny, loads of excellent guests and everything else as well. So were there any massive surprises for you guys at the tournament in things people were running?
I'm trying to think if I saw anything really, really unusual. DLR, I was a lot more DLR Crim than I was expecting to see, but it's a good deck and it's something people fall back onto when they're like looking for other things.
Yeah.
Beyond that, no. I mean, having looked at the top tables, there's a lot of Estelle Moon out there. There is a shout, I think it's Alex Borrell was running a brain damage ETF deck and he finished 17, missed out on making the top 16 by 1 place.
I believe he was running brain damage, net damage, meat damage ETF kill, which is mad.
Apparently he managed to kill someone with each method of damage throughout the day and at no point scored out. Mad.
I came up against a deck which was Gagarin, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm not coaching, because like, you know, we kind of are in the scene and know a bit about the meta and decks, and like Gagarin is like, unless it's like Hot Tubs or something, which is kind of like this degenerate kind of lateral deck that it's quite hard to deal with. But no, it was sort of a rig shooter, troubleshooter. He had corporate troubleshooter in. His plan was to raise the strength of the sentries to kind of get my breakers out of the way. He had a Will of the Wisp, of all things, as well. So yeah, it's always interesting kind of coming across these kind of new decks, and kind of it's more fun. It's kind of more nerve-wracking because you don't quite know what's going on, but it's more fun because it's like, oh, I remember that card. You know, it's just
awesome. So from I have limited tournament experience. Did you expect something like this, a premier event, to have essentially just be meta, or do you always get these kind of little bits of janky decks or just weird things people have homebrewed and never told anyone about while you're playing?
It depends where you are in the table. So like at the top it is the meta, it is the accepted meta, maybe with like a few secret tweaks, like I think we're probably safe to say it now, but Dave
on Diaper?
No. Well, Dave Say on Diaper is
Yep.
No, the thing I was going to say is there is a version of Wizard that top level players are playing with 3 Rumour Mills in it.
Bad Cards Wizards, I've heard it called.
Yeah, or Southern Wizard, because no one shared it with Seamus from the north as well. He was a bit annoyed about that. But yeah, so that's 9 influence points on this, 3 copies of this card, because it's level 3 at the moment, and that's just, I think the trick is you play one, they get rid of it, they score in general. All right, I'm safe now from Rumour Mill. No, you are not safe. You are never safe. So yeah, but yeah, and then the further into like mid-table, about halfway down, then you've kind of got a bit of a mix, and then at the bottom you just have no idea. You have people having a lot of fun just playing their mad decks, and just it's just good.
Yeah, I think it's the same with a lot of tournaments where if you're expecting to do well and you're going sort of with try-hard decks, you need to make sure that your try-hard decks aren't just good against their key matchups, and that you've played them enough so that you know how to deal with jank when you run into it and go, all right, I've got some idea of what I'm doing here, but this is my game plan, and I'm going to stick to it, or I'm going to alter it slightly. But yeah, it's and again, you will always get it where the first couple of rounds when you're trying to sweep people to get up at the top half, you are just going to be sometimes running up company and stuff that is completely mad or just off meta. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, we've said it a few times, and I say it a lot to anyone that's looking at starting up the game, because it's kind of the people we're aiming stuff at. Playing well generally beats having the meta call the best thing, because you can always surprise people with good play and traps and the bluffing element.
Then that would be see Ben Nee at Worlds, second place, crikey, with like a really well divined off meta deck, and just played it phenomenally. So yeah.
if it is sort of you are coming up to your first major tournament and you listen to say a week or 2 weeks before and you're like, oh god, there's this hot new meta deck and there's something you've been practicing for ages, take the thing you've been practicing for ages, because you'd rather get to the end of the day and go, that's the best I could have done with my deck, rather than getting to the end of the day and then one of your opponents comes to you going, yeah, you misplayed that horribly with Wizard, I don't know what you're doing there.
That was the story of day one for me. I didn't play horribly, but I ran Wizard because it's the meta thing. Talking to Richard Hammond, who suggested decks to me, and I went, "Oh, I've made a change," and he'd always go, "No, put it back. Don't do that." He got very annoyed. I took the snares out of the IG deck because I don't really like snare. But I do like Shy Q, and apparently that's bad. So I got told off for that.
No, but then it's the thing of like you pick the cards that you want and try and make, it's kind of like a passion project at that point, and you will. It's kind of a theme of like the more you enjoy playing a deck, the more you will play it, and the better you will get with it, and the more you will understand about take it out and play it against decks that you are expecting to see, certainly, so that you have at least a game plan against them, or kind of at least theory craft like a game plan against it. I mean, like GQ, right, man? Maybe not the best card, but I think people will take it, and then maybe you could do something like a Philotic kill deck. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I got so many kills in testing on Jinteki with using the Shaikus to score a Philotic and getting the kill that way, so I enjoyed it, and I was finding whenever they hit snares I didn't have any money, but that's probably just because I make bad choices and don't keep money. Cool, so as much as we've kind of covered it, are there any last tips for anyone that is looking to either get into Netrunner or especially get into Netrunner competitively from you guys?
Hydration is very important.
I was about to say the exact same thing, so make sure you bring a bottle of water, don't overdo the caffeine, because otherwise you'll go full papyrus hands and fire your cards everywhere when you're trying to shuffle, and bring nice snacks, because you'll find you'll get ruined at tournament events where you're paying sort of £5 for a sandwich, but going to the supermarket and buying the brand of breakfast bar that you like the most, and having those in your bags every time you get a bit hungry and grumpy, that's it doesn't sound weird, but sugar crashing
blood sugar level is a real thing.
Oh yeah, I mean I was I didn't manage to throw my cards everywhere, but I was getting really excited day one, flicking my click trackers over and pinging them on my opponent, so that was entertaining. Apologise for that like 2 or 3 times in one game, but yeah, no, definitely I bought flapjacks with me because they're quite good for the energy and stuff. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. It's been Edie and Chris from Run Last Click. Like I said, if you're into Netrunner, go listen to them. They are wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, that was our interview with Run Last Click. Next up, we're talking to personal favourites of mine, Teamwork Cast and friend. And if you guys haven't checked them out, you really should. They do fantastic commentary on live games with fancy effects and everything. It's a joy to watch, and it's helped me learn a load about Netrunner. So here is my interview with them. I'm here with my second interview of today with Teamwork Cast and friend. I will get them to introduce themselves because I'm terrible with names and very, very tired at this point. So we have...
I'm Christian.
And I'm Gereon.
You didn't say I'm Christian from Teamwork Cast. I'm slightly disappointed. It's like catchphrase.
We're going to do the proper ending, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes. Have to. Cool. So, you guys have both been playing in the Netrunner tournament?
Yes, we have.
How did you do?
Well, I made it to the second day, which was already way better than I expected. And then I made it to place 30-something. Yeah, so it was a phenomenal result for me. I didn't train at all. And so that always feels kind of really nice if you get something for free, so to speak. 30-something, that was fun.
Yeah, 34, I believe.
Maybe.
I think, because I looked earlier.
Very close to the 32 cat, which is, I didn't get the deck box, but then somebody else gave me the deck box, so that was
okay.
nice.
Yeah, I got booted out on the first day, something in the 3-digit range. It doesn't matter because I had some very, very great games. Actually, one of the best Netrunner games I've had in something like half a year or so. It was really, really tense. We split the round. Both games ended 7-6, and it was it was a nail biter finish. Both games, and that makes it up for me because even losing these kinds of games is still fun, and that's what's so great about this game, I think.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And having a community that is always so friendly is such a bonus for this game. So what were you guys running to over the tournament?
So as always, I'm running Andromeda or a Criminal at least, and then the second one is going to be I have an NBN deck, a Spark deck actually, which was I was unsure about it. I was sure about the Andromeda because that's kind of like a familiar ground for me, but I wasn't so sure about the NBN.
I was running Smoke. I'm running Smoke both in the regular tournament and also in Cash Refresh. And for the regular one, I was running Polana Glacier. I made some last-minute changes, which I'm kind of sort of regretting.
You and me both.
And for Cash Refresh, I'm playing HB Moonspam.
Thanks. Cool. So, were there any things I've been asking everyone? Were there any massive surprises for you? Things you didn't expect to see? I'll hold the mic in between you, so just sort of join in.
Not really, actually. I was expecting even more HB than we are seeing right now, and especially in the top 16, it's just shy over half of them are playing it. I was expecting more, to be honest, and I was not really expecting so many people bringing Anarch, because everyone is obviously taking against Moonspam.
Yeah. I was expecting to play a lot more Brits. I didn't play a lot of Brits, but I did. Well, maybe that was just me, but it was like crazy. I kind of counted, and it's like on the second day, like I played. Every player I met was from a different country. Oh, cool. So that was like the diversity was kind of amazing, at least in when it comes to the country of origin. Yeah. As far as decks, I think I just played only Wizards. I think there was just two exceptions. Yeah. One was a Val, and the other one was a Steve.
Ooh, okay. Is there anything you expected to see you haven't seen?
No, not really.
No.
Excuse me.
So, did you expect to see any decks that just weren't here?
Oh yeah. Well, they were here, but I haven't played them.
Oh, okay.
The potatoes decks. I expected a lot of them because there was this little discussion about potatoes, about PU,
yes.
potential unleash.
Yes.
And I was really.
Players, round 2 pairings are up.
And I'm afraid of the potatoes deck because I always lose against them, and so I was glad that I haven't met them.
Awesome.
I think we have to wrap this up. We have to go to get our pairings.
No, absolutely fine. It has been lovely talking to you both, and I'm hoping we can do some kind of collaboratory stuff with commentating on games and stuff together at some point in the future. So yeah, guys, watch this space, and remember,
hack the planet! Aware that the actual table numbers.
Thank you very much, guys.
Add 10.
Okay, that was Teamwork Cast. And next, for our final interview, I spoke to some of them American folk that travelled over here from the US. In particular, it is Dan and Kenny, who I'm sure you are all aware of. So, on to that interview. Okay, here with another interview with people that don't really need any introduction in the Netrunner community. We have Dan and Kenny, all the way from America.
Yep.
Say hello.
The real America.
Yeah.
Hey everybody.
Freedom. Apple pie.
Donald Trump.
Whoops.
Oops, sorry guys.
Sorry boys.
We didn't mean to.
We accept your apology.
Try not to.
We're in the same situation at the moment. It's not good.
I know. We hear you got a really good guy who's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Go Jazzy.
Our Bernie, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how's it gone?
We pretty well.
We both top 16 and ended up finishing 9th and 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So not the worst finish. We were really hoping. So at North American Continentals this past year, we got first, second.
Yeah. We wanted to repeat because it'd be really funny.
Yeah. Joshua had a 25-1 bet with Laurie Balder that we'd won to again.
101.
Oh, it was 100-1?
It was 101.
Wow. That was for $5 too. So that would have been a big. That would have been a big boon for Joshua.
Yeah. We also had either of us at 6-1 for 25.
Yeah, I know. That's a reasonable bet.
Yeah.
So is that a common thing, betting on the Netrunner?
We're degenerates.
So amongst you lot, yes.
I mean, like, it's like mostly like me and Jason Dang.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extension of like regional rivalries, kind of also. Just like, I don't know, we were like coming over here, we were making fun of the Brits. The Brits are like, we're the best, because they kind of are.
Yeah, they are. So
Yeah.
you know, they've definitely. I think the UK is definitely
has the most strong players.
they are the strongest meta right now.
Yeah.
The US Northeast used to be the strongest, and now the UK is taking over.
Yeah.
It's nice for a speaker at something. Cool. So, what were you guys playing?
So we both played Wiz as a runner, and we played one card off, I think. We tested a bunch. It was like a variation on Temujin Wiz. It was originally like 3 Temujins, and then at the last second, we're like...
No, not at the last second. It was original. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were originally playing like basically Chris Dyer's deck from Worlds, like with like influence adjusted and like 5 or 6 cards switch, plus 3 Hacktivists because we thought Moons was like the deck to beat.
Which it is.
Yeah, which it is. And then we didn't think it was as good as it is with all the tech until we got here. And
So basically, we got here, and we were testing a different version of Moons than the Brits were playing. They had 3 tech startups, which vastly increases your amount of nut draws, because your nut draw is ice a Moon, but icing a tech startup is just as good.
Yeah.
So their nut draws were just like way more common, and we weren't beating that nut draw with our Wiz. So basically what we did was we ended up cutting a Temujin for a Rumor Mill and playing 4 currents, because if you win the current, we're usually in good shape, and Rumor Mill is at least as good as Activist Meeting.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why it's tier 3.
yeah,
That's
it's a dumb card.
It's a very dumb card. And the thing is like, we assumed everybody would just... We assumed that the UK was still on a pretty bad version of Moonies.
Yeah.
Because that's what you were playing like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It had a bunch of flaws. It only had 1 ELP. Which
It had
is terrible.
1 ELP. There's like all sorts of wrong things with it. So, you know, we were testing against that and beating it more often than not. And we were like, this is fine.
Yeah.
You know, we have a pretty good NBN matchup. We don't think there's going to be a lot of Jinteki. So, you know, we thought we were in good shape. We got here and we were ready to play food codes.
Yeah.
To try and dodge basically like the Hacktivist Meeting, wizard decks that like don't deal with Fairchild 3 and double Fairchild 3 well, or like we had Satyr Adaptive Barrier, was actually a really great piece of Ice for your remote that had come out recently. It got real big in the late game, and pretty much nobody was breaking that efficiently. So we thought we were in pretty good shape with food codes. Turns out
It also stomps on it on Criminal.
yeah, you just can never lose to Criminal. You like triple ice your centrals and turn off. It's a deck that's very good at turning off Temujin contracts.
Yeah.
The issue is, so we were all ready to go with this like the night before, and then I went on, everybody else went to bed, and I was like, I'm going to go on JNet and play JNet. I went on JNet and I played against a character called Hello World, Hello_World, and Alex
pretty
White.
sure it was a British Smurf.
We knew it was a British Smurf account. For those of you in the community who don't know, it's common among top players at this point to create different JNet account names, so that way people don't know who you are. So like Kenny's was too
shit to acquit.
Too shit to acquit.
I've seen you on there.
I created a French alter ego named Yves Olivier.
Right.
So we were running on those accounts. So Yves Olivier ran into Hello_World and played with both Moonies and Food Codes, 3 games in a row. This wizard deck that just seemed to have infinity copies of Rumor Mill. Like every time I did anything, Rumor Mill. And Food Codes takes a stone shit to Rumor Mill. You can't do anything. As long as they have enough money to get into your remote, you can't score. So I was like, well...
How do we fix this?
Not how do we fix this, I was like, this must be what the Brits have.
Yeah.
Because they were talking a big game of their Wiz game against Moons.
Right.
I was like, this must be it. Woke up in the morning at Alex White's house, said, Alex White, is this your stupid deck? And he said, no. And we were like, yeah, it is.
Yeah. You look at his face, he was lying.
We're high-level Netrunner players. It's hard to ruse us.
Yeah.
So naturally, in the train station the morning of the tournament, we're like, how do we build any other deck?
Yeah. I had brought a couple of things, and so one of the things was like Josh, who we tested with, had told us that like had played CTM, and he said, I think CTM is nuts good against all the wizards that are teched for like not CTM. They don't have Slums anymore. They don't have Strike. They don't have David. They're all like cards you need to be like CTM.
Yeah,
and
you can't deal with like Toll Booth or Archangel. You,
Or,
can't,
like,
you don't have
Resistor with
Spoon. These are all the cards you cut for the currents.
Yeah, right. And so I was like, he's like, but it's complete shit against Andy. And I've just been like talking to everyone, and nobody who, like most of like the super serious competitive players, absolutely nobody is on Andy. Every single person is on Wiz. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't played this deck a bunch, but Josh tells me it's nuts. I think he's right. I'm gonna switch to it. And so I was putting it together in the morning. Alex was like, the taxi's here. So I was like, give me 2 more minutes. I gotta find these cards. I gotta make sure I have the correct 49.
So while he's waiting for the taxi, I'm putting multiple Lotus Fields and Arc lockdowns into my deck, trying to basically exploit the fact that Wizard might not be able to break Lotus Field without Black Orchestra.
and they don't have Networny Eyes.
Or just like get their they don't have Networny Eyes.
Yeah.
Most of them. We ended up playing Networny Eyes. It's quite a good card. Like it's a reasonable use of your influence.
Yeah.
Is that mostly for Yogg boosting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like naturally you can put it on whatever if you're trying to save money, but like it's for
Getting Yogg to 4 seems good.
You get a Data Sucker plus Networny Eyes or an Ice Carver plus Networny Eyes, and suddenly every failed trial is black.
Yeah, it also lets you beat Archangel for 1 Data Sucker, which is really important for medium digging against all the yellow decks, because otherwise they Archangel Purge, and then you're just
screwed.
Yeah.
You need to you end up paying through the trace.
Yeah. That's your plan against Archangel.
I did win a few games playing through Archangel traces. And
Same.
Awesome. So
anyway, that wasn't the end of it. Then we got to the train station, and I immediately talked myself out of this stupid idea of just trying to if I'm gonna play Cheese Arc Lockdown remote lock deck, might as well play Scorpios. This is not a good deck. This is not what you want to be doing this in. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just do the objectively most powerful thing and built Moons. So I brought Moons.
Yeah.
Slightly different than the British version. I was playing 3 beta tests over 3 successful field tests, which is much better.
Yeah. It's not close.
It's not close at all. Successful field tests, obviously, it's a lot of fun to install 3 billion cards, but you don't score successful field tests and install 3 billion cards unless you're already winning.
Yeah.
So I made that replacement. I also cut the 3rd Biotic for a 2nd Lakshmi.
Which is closer.
It's closer, but I think the Lakshmi is slightly better because it's something you can install and get a counter for Moon in the early game, whereas Biotic is completely dead in the early game.
Yeah, that's Lakshmi Smart Cap Fabrics, isn't it?
Smart Fabrics.
Yeah.
It also is. I mean, it's really good in the late game to Friends and High Places double Lakshmi once they trash them. With ELP out, that's more than a deck can deal with, and you still got 2 clicks left over to do whatever. 3 if you got Jeeves. So that's what we ended up playing.
I was really happy with it.
I was really happy with it too. I was happy with everything we played.
I was kind of didn't know what I was doing on the first day. I played 5 games of CTM total, including when it was the actual best deck, and I was kind of fumbling around and I
played 3 games of testing right before the tournament, and I beat him 3 times with Wiz.
I was like. But I was like,
he's like, I feel comfortable with this now. Thanks for the testing. Now I know what I'm doing.
I was like, this seems okay.
So it turns out the thing about CTM now is if you draw your Sensi's Actors Union on turn 1, you automatically win the game.
Yeah. I did it a couple times, and it's just because no one has any slums, there's no tech. Part of it is if you run, Mama at Virtual Tour. If you run the remote and it's Mama at Virtual Tour, you lose. You can't. No one
no one beats it.
Yeah, you're paying.
You lost your entire turn.
You're so far behind.
You're in the deepest plausible shit.
So you can't run your remotes. I was even some games. I was like, I can just turn 1 and install a Naked Agenda because you can't check the remotes unless you're Attack Me deck.
So to clarify, the Virtual Tour is the one that makes you pay the 5 if you can to trash it, and then CTM will hit you for attack.
That's correct. And if you
so it's at -9.
And if you fire your Sensi, you can just install a Virtual Tour on the Sensi if you find one. Makes it even more difficult. Then they've got to get low on credits enough that they trash the Sensi and don't.
I mean, the biggest thing was just no one was tax free.
Yeah, and then you're cold hearted and lose.
And you have a bunch of ice that Wiz has a pain in the ass break in.
Archangel is the hardest ice for Wiz to deal with right now.
Yeah.
Furthermore, if they are medium digging you, even if you don't have the Archangel out, and you run into the Archangel, almost everybody's relying on Data Sucker to break it, and nobody's prepared to beat the trace on the hit of R&D.
Yes, and
So
I'm
you
running the
bounce
CBS too, so I'm it's like medium isn't even a good plan anymore. It's I played a Wiz a little bit against Josh with it, and I beat him like 1 game out of like 3, I think, and it was just not good. It's just like you need to hit Temujin to have a chance.
And they all cut Temujin for their triple rumor.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like they cut like the best card in their deck against it.
Yeah.
I didn't actually ever get to play against any of them on it, but I think I had like a nuts matchup against them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you were playing, unless I completely missed the point, CTM.
No, he was playing.
You were playing CTM.
yeah,
You were playing ETF Moons.
Yeah.
Cool. So was there anything you guys saw that you really didn't expect, or things you really expected that you just didn't see?
By the day before the tournament, I think the morning of the tournament, we knew everything we were going to see, and it was basically correct.
Yeah, we had a perfect read on the meta the morning before the tournament. The day before the tournament, we were complete morons.
We thought we had a great Moonies matchup, and no, I don't think we did.
No, we don't. We have an okay Moonies matchup.
Yeah.
I think we're like 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay. Somewhere near.
We have a deck that's like 50-50 against literally every deck in the field, except for CI and maybe CTM.
Cool. So so your I suppose a good advice is do your homework.
Yeah. It's hard and it's a lot of fun, but just talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always told everybody this, and like it's hard if you like haven't like necessarily like broken into the community. But if you want to like get a little more serious at Netrunner, get in StimHack Slack, stimhack.slack.com. You can request an invite. It's where everybody talks about Netrunner. That's like the major hub.
Yeah.
Get in there, talk to people, and like obviously you've got to grind your games out. You want to get good at Netrunner, play a ton of games. But the next thing you need to do is start talking to everybody about Netrunner.
Yeah.
And so much of this game is reading the metagame, and you'll have no idea how to do that unless you're talking.
Yeah. It's really important to be talking a lot. We're from America, so to get an idea of like the UK meta, we need to talk to people who are actually here.
Yeah.
And like they had the Building a Better Brit grand final. I watched like the whole stream and like was like taking notes and everything.
So bring another Brit to Worlds.
Yeah. Build a better Brit.
I like the bit. Obviously, being American, you're sticking to just saying things wrong and go, no, this is what it is.
I mean, we're not the people who say fucking toodle pip.
I'm not sure anyone really says that. I think that's just the way you guys portray us in media. Did you ever manage to get the minced veal and lamb chops with bone you were after, Dan? Because you were quite upset on Friday.
I spoke to Vapo, who's another home cooking enthusiast, and he informed me that it's like
only one in all of the UK.
Yeah, you guys just boil your meat. Boiled meat, cabbage, baked beans.
That is what we live off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
garbage.
Yeah, ready meals from the fridge.
We had a bunch of Indian food, which is great.
Yeah, we had Thai food.
Yeah.
Like we ate all the places that you like try to colonize in the history of the world. Like you have great food. You managed to not bring any back for a very long time.
Well, I think we brought some back and ruined it.
Yeah.
We're quite good at doing that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're
just too excited. Make it bland and tasteless.
Yeah. I was like, Alex.
As opposed to filling it with sugar like you guys do, yeah?
I was like, Alex, where's your salt? I was like, people don't put salt in food here. It's like literally the most important ingredient.
The best. Salt is the best.
Anyway, yeah, so I ended up not finding veal. It turns out that your country has a lot of animal rights activists who were very angry about veal because, it's like they kill the baby cows and stuff like that. But according to Vapo, they still kill the baby cows because there's literally no reason to keep steers if you're not breeding them.
Yeah.
So they just kill them and throw them away. So great job, you guys.
Yeah, we're efficient and...
I did notice that the only thing in the grocery store that's from the UK is meat. You guys make nothing else. It's like everything else is like imported from wherever. It's just like you just raise meat. Like you go to the like meat section, it's just like British flags everywhere on like every menu, everything.
Cumberland sausage, regular sausage.
So we'll obviously have you back at some point, Dan, and do a cooking with Dan and how not to suck at food.
Yeah, we used to do cooking stream.
Did you?
Well, not really.
Did you bring
but
back the stream? The meta's great right now.
Yeah, I'll bring back the stream. All right, fine.
Excellent.
You guys can go into Twitch TV /StimHack at some point, and, or StimHack with a D at the end.
Does someone else have StimHack?
I don't know. Anthony made it.
How's he doing? I guess he has this new game.
Yeah.
Should we give a shout out to that? What's it called?
Slay the Spire. Yeah, check it out. It's a really cool game. It's on like it's on Steam something.
Greenlight.
Yeah, it's on Steam Greenlight right now. It's a really cool computer game, single player game. For those of you who like games like Dominion, deck builder games, it's a deck builder roguelike player versus enemy game. So what you do is you progress through the dungeon, and as you defeat enemies, you get a chance. Each enemy you defeat, you get a chance to draft a card into your deck, and you use your deck to fight later enemies. As the enemies get harder and harder, and you try and build like a synergistic deck to fight enemies with. It's a really cool game.
Awesome, that sounds amazing. She'll pester him for a review copy. So, is there anything else you guys want to mention, like from being here? Anything that you were...
Well, we're both a little bit sad that we like made the cut and then sort of scrubbed out in the cut. If that's a thing. I mean, I get scrubbing out. It's like, but
I think CTM was probably the best deck for the cut, other than maybe CI was awesome.
CI was better.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But I was just happy to be able to personally eliminate Chris Dyer, so I don't have to like take a backseat to him, because like I'm really sick of doing that.
Make it relevant again for Worlds.
There's gonna be a new tournament. Make Dan relevant again.
Are you going to Gen Con?
Yeah, I think I am.
I don't think I am.
Why not?
There's only so much I can do this shit.
I think I probably will.
Do it.
If I won this, I wouldn't have, but no, I need to. I don't know.
You gotta beat the West Coast.
I gotta win on a regular basis, otherwise I'll like feel bad about myself.
You should.
So as we've, like I said, we sort of cater to newer players with our Netrunner stuff. Have you got any advice for people getting into the game? So obviously talking to people is good, playing games is
I think
good.
the first and most important thing is to know what you want to be doing in the game. And we can give you a lot of advice about like how to get into the competitive community if you want to get serious about getting like really good at Netrunner. Some people don't want that, and that's okay. You know, like we might just give advice about how getting into the competitive community. When I say if you just want to play like a little bit of Netrunner and play like explore like weird interactions, like you don't need to follow our advice. You don't like. There's different ways to enjoy the game, and that's okay. And there's room for people to enjoy the game in different ways without like infringing on each other's space.
Like honestly, there's something in the game for everybody. I think Kenny's right. This is like the first time in the history of the world that I'm gonna say this, but like, you know, like there's like tons of like fun things you can be doing in Netrunner. And if you look at the metagame of this tournament, a lot of people will like bitch and moan and be like, oh, everybody's Wiz and Moonies, but you can be playing a lot of things that are very good right now.
I think I had a better Moonies matchup than I had like a Scorp matchup, for example.
Yeah.
Or like a Soul matchup. Or like, you know, like there's like a bunch of different decks that I think I had a worse matchup than the Moonies matchup, but I text for it.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is like everybody was just going deep against these decks and playing them because they are objectively the most powerful things. But that is a very, very exploitable metagame.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In a way that like CTM at Worlds is like actually just the best deck.
Yeah, CTM at Wizard Worlds was like a problem. Like those decks you couldn't really do that great against no matter what you did. These decks you can.
Yeah. And it's very different, and it's hard to tell if you're not like really into it and playing a bunch. But like, you know, at Worlds, I was like, oh, I'm not facing CTM. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Now I'm not facing Wiz. I'm excited about this. Here I'm like, I'm not facing ETF. Fuck.
Yeah, like, what is this? What do I do? Like I haven't tested anything against whatever this is.
And it's not shit. Like I won 0-2 against Wayland.
I see a Shaper deck and I am instantly confused. You don't know what could be in it, but it's I mean, like, they have functional cards. Like, they have a card that makes them take an extra click every turn for 2. They have a card that draws them like literally 3,000 cards for 1. Like, it's not bad.
Yeah. So do you think from the metagame we had at Worlds to now we're in a better place for Netrunner?
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. Moonies is kind of dumb because of how hard it is to beat their nut draw. And it's just there is so little. They can just like open like Moonies, Architect, like another install, and you're just like fucked. But like Moonies is fun when they don't get their nut draw.
Yeah, you can still play a game against that deck.
Yeah, and it's interesting to make a decision. It's just they get like 20% of the time they get a draw you just can't contest, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, and the fact that the deck is so powerful and like such a, you know, you've gotta play for it so much that it leaves a lot of other Corp decks open to play. that maybe otherwise could be easily hated out. Stuff like CTM, where like you are not very good against any slums that gets played against you, you're in trouble.
Or
stuff like
stuff like Aaron Marin.
Aaron Marin.
I'm not playing MC Informant. That card sucks.
Yeah, there's stuff like CI, where like employee strike could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But they don't have that anymore, so you can play CI. So like anytime the meta gets really, really narrow like this, that's a time for you to think about what sort of outside angle you can play. And don't get discouraged about the state of the metagame because of any one tournament.
These US Nats is still happening.
And that is extremely diverse top 16.
There's 10 out of 16 Shaper in the cut.
I saw that on the Netrunner Dorks. It's posted up. There's 4 Wayland in there as well.
Yeah. And I was like, I talked to like a lot of people on lots of different places who are like real into Netrunner, and it's really interesting. They think the West Coast thinks they have a deck that kills moons. I'm curious to see what's going to happen after this tournament when the Brits like take it with like their Moonies deck, which I think is better than anyone on the West Coast had.
Yeah, the American we were on shit moons compared to this.
Yeah.
Having no tech startup is really bad.
Yeah. Their moons is way better, and I'm curious to see if the matchup is still bad when you play against good moons versus good that. And I'm really interested in find out, and I wish there was like another huge tournament in Lamont to figure it out.
Yeah.
We have regionals, but like regionals are, I love the big tournaments where
there's nothing better than these continental championships.
Where like
of the
everyone
world.
trains for them. Yeah. Like people train a little bit for regionals, but not this way where you have like groups of people like talking to everyone to figure out what the meta is and figure out what the perfect deck is and lots of ideas.
Cool. So finally, we've had the change recently from just a single tier to what is, I suppose, 3 tiers, although we're only using 2 of them for the most wanted list. Good or bad?
Very good. It should be bans.
So you think there should be bans in Netrunner?
Everything that's on the 3 currently should be banned.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah? So Sensi's, Rumour Mill, Cipher?
Yep.
You reckon? Yeah. Where do you think Moon will go?
I think it should be like 1 in Friends and High Places.
Yeah,
should
Friends
be 3.
in High Places and Moon should be put on the MWL.
Yeah.
One of them should be 3, the other one should be 1.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's an argument for saying 1 should be 1, 1 should be 2?
I think
if they put a second level in?
There's no reason to have 2.
Yeah, there's
it's
no
just
reason
confusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, there's no reason to have 3. We should just ban these cards.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
There's apparently a strict no ban rule for FFG where unless something is
They
like...
really don't like banning cards because they don't want to sell packs of cards to people that you're not allowed to play the cards anymore. It's like a feel bad experience. But for the sake of the metagame, these cards would be better off banned.
Yeah.
But this is pretty good. This is way better than before.
Yeah. This is 1,000,000,000% better. Like them.
Cool.
Like this is like one of the best. This is probably the best meta we've had.
This is the healthiest Netrunner has been maybe ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a little bit annoying because the game used to be a lot slower and now games are decided much earlier in the game, which is like, a lot more variance because, your opening hand matters a lot more. So that's a little bit annoying, but in terms of like the amount of different things you can reasonably do, it's never been better.
Yeah. And people always talk about like the competitive hive mind, and I don't think it's ever been true until now where like people hive minded on like what decks were the best deck and the decks against them. And it's totally true that there was a ton of other good decks people could have played and been okay with.
Yeah.
In a way there haven't been for like food codes or like CTM.
For like the first 3 years of Netrunner, or the first maybe 2.5 years, 3 years of Netrunner, there's no reason to not play Criminal ever.
Yeah.
And then, later, it seemed like there was no reason to not play Prepaid King.
Yeah.
And for a while, there was no reason to not play...
Dumblefort.
There was no reason to not play Dumblefort. There was no reason to not play NEH Astrobiotics. There was no reason not to play CTM. And these decks were all so good, and so there was just, no angle against them.
Right.
The best you could do was 50-50, and you had to work for that.
Yeah.
You can do a lot better than 50-50 against Moons with a number of different things. And these Wizard decks are actually the Wizard decks that are tech for Moons, the more the tech they are, they're trivially easy to crush.
Yeah.
You can crush them with basically everything that's not Moons.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've still got a couple of packs coming out in this cycle. Obviously, Scion.
Get the Demon Era over with.
Get him out.
So Scion has hit, but isn't legal hasn't been legal for this. I'm quite excited for the Aeneas Informant because I think it's quite good for Criminal.
What is this?
We're laughing. We don't know what these cards do.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I was like, new pack comes up. I do not care while I am. It's not
Okay,
legal.
okay.
I don't read the cards until somebody beats me with them. on
Right,
stage.
the card I'm quite excited for, you've got a new criminal resource, a 0 to install. When you access a card with a trash cost that you're not trashing, you may reveal it and gain a credit.
Seems too slow.
It's terrible.
Really?
Yep.
I don't think it's terrible.
See, there's
It
people.
doesn't work with security testing. It's bad.
It doesn't work with security testing, but it can replace it. You can have 3 down because it works
Exactly.
through medium digs, because you're accessing the card but not trashing it.
That's actually kind of cool.
It works with
Wait,
gang sign HQ interface. Anytime you
That's kinda nuts with me.
access a card with a trash cost
All right, maybe
and
it's
don't
bad.
trash it.
Just don't get me wrong. Whenever I see a card, I'm like, trash, garbage, don't play it.
When Tomb Raider got spoiled, I told Dan that this card
I think
is
it
nuts
seems
and probably
okay.
the best card ever. He's like, I don't think it's better than Bank Job. Like, how is this?
Were
better
you
than
wrong,
Bank
Dan?
Job?
What?
Were you wrong?
I plead the fifth. Oh, you guys have that here?
No.
Of course not.
No.
Well, I refuse to incriminate myself.
Fair enough.
I think the real issue for Criminal against Moons is clicks and not credits. You like ELP is really good against you. Like, I think Temujin and Desperado are all enough money, but they're not front loaded like Wizard is. So I don't know. It's not bad. I think it'll probably be good at some point. It's kind of better on.
I'm confused. I don't understand. It costs 0 when you access a card with a trash cost and don't trash it, you get a credit.
Yeah.
So 0 to install, and then every time you access a card
Yeah, I
with a
get it,
trash
I get
cost,
it, I get
you
it.
reveal it,
I get it,
so
I
they can
get
see
it.
it.
2 out, and you can click for 2 credits if there's a card on the board.
You can get 8 credits.
3 out and I'm roar.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
get 8
fine.
credits in a single run with a Temujin Desperado and 3 of those out.
I don't think it's that great, but I don't think Din's a grump.
It sounds a lot. It sounds like too much like Au revoir.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I don't know, the thing is about Criminal is, Criminal doesn't usually have a problem getting money.
Yeah.
It has a problem, turning its money into things useful, because, what you're doing in Criminal right now is, you're paying, 7 with a Gordian blade type thing to break a Fairchild. So, you can make, 4 credits a click, but you're still making 1 run a turn. So, what Criminal, yeah.
Okay.
That's basically it. That's not what Criminal is looking for. Criminal is looking for some way to
Deal with ice better.
Yeah, Criminal needs to deal with ice.
See the Z-Res on a stick? There's a card.
Oh, yeah.
That card looks nuts.
Yeah, that just sort of vamps them over and over again.
Yeah.
There's little mini vamps of derezzing ice.
Yeah, you can.
That's the sort of thing that Criminal needs. Criminal needs a way to not deal with the opponent's ice.
Yeah.
Because it is not good at it.
That's probably gonna be broken at some point.
Yeah, if it's not broken now, it'll be in a really good deck.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, is there any other things you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
America.
Cheers.
Right. Thank you very much, guys.
Pims on a dollywag. Pims on a gap, yeah.
Wonderful. Right, brilliant. Thank you. And that is the last of our interviews for today, guys. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, and on the internet at criticaltwits.com. If you've got any feedback, any messages, anything you would like to hear us ask people in further interviews, or any other information that you'd like to pass to us, give us a shout at critical_twits, or message us on Facebook, or just comment on this video. Thank you very much for listening. Till next time, bye.